Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Chit Chat and Chapters. I'm Austin. She's Lauren.
Hello, hello.
I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Lauren, how are you doing today? Yeah, buddy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, buddy.
Fantastic. Yeah. Aside from the heat that is still just oppressive, honestly,
Oh, gosh.
it's it's soup. It's soup outside. It's just
Uh-huh.
uh-huh.
I
But that just means I'm staying inside hibernating and reading oh so many books.
Sure, absolutely. I DJ'd a wedding and did the music for the ceremony,
Hmm.
and it was 105 degrees outside. They did an outdoor wedding, and there was zero shade to be found. I swear the 80-year-old grandma was going to keel over on us because it was disgusting. Fun wedding.
That's mm, that's vile.
Yeah. But hey, they didn't know it was going to be 1,000,000 degrees outside when they booked this. They were just hoping it wasn't going to rain.
July in Nebraska, what did you think?
Hey, man, you never know. It's a roll of the dice sometimes. It's either going to
It's
be ungodly hot or you're
that's
going to be
fair.
stuck in the middle of the biggest rainstorm on the planet.
Yeah, that's fair. Welcome to Nebraska.
So, but with all that being said, staying out of the weather as best we can, Lauren, what books have you finished up in this time?
I've finished up quite a few actually. So actually like this last weekend. I got to go to the one of the release tour press tour things for Christina Lauren's new book, The Romance Revival.
Oh,
And so I was like trying to get through quite a few of her books that I still had on my backlog. And so I finished The Unhoneymooners. This was super cute. This is twin sisters, the sisters getting married, and then it's the husband's brother. So they
okay.
end up having to go on their honeymoon because they're the only two that don't eat a buffet at the wedding. And so it's like forced proximity, enemies to lovers in the romance genre, so a very loose enemies. It's I really
A
enjoyed this.
dislike to lovers.
Yeah, a miscommunication to lovers essentially is all. Enemies to lovers in romance is just miscommunication. That's all it ever is. I
Yep.
loved you so much right from the minute I saw you that I had this look of disgust because I knew it could never be. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah, 100%. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it.
But that being said, this was absolutely adorable. I devour these books so quickly. They're so bingeable. They're such a bingeable, wonderful read. And so like that's what this was. Is this was essentially miscommunication the whole time. But I think what I really loved about this that stood out different than most miscommunication tropes is that reading it, it's miscommunication the entire time. The whole time, they're like brutally honest to each other, but yet only in a way that like makes sense as a now brother and sister in law kind of thing.
Hmm.
And because they're brother and sister in law, you're like, how is this going to work? And so when we get to the third act conflict, it's actually them being honest with each other. And so instead of it being a miscommunication, it's kind of the opposite in that third act conflict, which is really just kind of felt really refreshing. It was really unique because, like, the whole point of all of this all along is they're like banter and like snark toward each other and like yes they're being honest but they're saying it in such a misguided way and all these kinds of things that then that moment of vulnerability is what caused the miscommunication, which was really just refreshing, I feel like, for a romance book.
Yeah.
So this was like
Nice.
like 4.5 stars, absolutely fantastic. Then I read a couple arcs, just some really fast little things like that. Nothing too monumental, honestly, to talk about. I've been
Hmm.
doing better on my whole not just asking for everything on NetGalley, but
Oh.
that doesn't mean that I still haven't had quite a few just kind of mid 3 star reads there that I pick up in my spare time. But the other two that I did want to mention is I finished then the other Christina Lauren, Love in Other Words. This one is has a 4.2 on Goodreads. This is a
Okay.
beloved book. This was like I feel like one of the OG book talk books. When you
Okay.
like I know so many people that consider this like an OG classic. And it is Macy and Elliot are childhood friends, so it's dual timeline, which I actually really enjoyed. Sometimes that's really hit or miss for me, but this was done really well. It's just from Macy's POV. We don't get Elliot's. And when Elliot shows back up in her life and she is engaged. So this is technically the cheating trope. There is a lot of emotional things that go on in this book. Now, again, I will use cheating very lightly because it is a lot more emotional. Like, there's no physical boundaries crossed, but it's emotional. I mean, he breaks up with his girlfriend the day after they get back in contact with each other. She does not until the very end of this book because she's engaged and has a lot more to lose.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I still devoured this.
Mm-hmm.
Still 4.5 stars.
And you enjoyed it? You enjoyed that, like, for lack of a better word, guy coming in and blowing up life?
Yeah. I think
it's romantic in this situation?
Surprisingly, yes. Okay. And I think because we get them as kids and get the dual timeline, you really understand that their connection, like, you get to see their connection being so much deeper than some guy she met on a whim that ends up being more, which is funny I'm saying that now for what I'll say next. But, like, I don't even remember the fiance's name in this book. Christina Lauren did a really good job of not only splitting them up very amicably, making sure that the timeline worked, that there was no physical boundaries crossed, really showing Macy's conflict between the safeness and what she's known of her marriage. And I'm like, even before they interact, Macy's already talking to her best friend about how her engagement, like, she hasn't done any wedding planning because she doesn't care enough to do it. And so they do set it up nicely enough that surprisingly it worked really well. I was expecting not to.
How close to the wedding do they break up?
There was never a wedding planned.
Yeah, this sounds fine. This sounds like a very non-problematic way. It sounds like they were still effectively dating.
Yeah.
But one paid a lot of money for jewelry. Like,
yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
interesting.
And that's really what it was. And it added a layer, like, minor. I feel like this is kind of a minor spoiler, but like, this added, I think the reason we needed the fiance was because Macy lost her mom and her fiance has a daughter. And so it really explored Macy really only being engaged for that maternal figure for the fiance's daughter rather than the love connection between the two of them. And so, like, I think that was so much more important than the actual fiance that I didn't mind it. I really didn't mind it as much as I anticipated to.
All right, very interesting. Yeah. Now, I know this is in comparison to another book.
Yeah. I read these back to back actually on accident. I didn't realize this was a cheating trope. So, and again, I use that term. To me, the term cheating trope might as well be enemies to lovers. It has very little actual literal meaning.
Okay, fair. Because,
like, very rarely are you going to read a cheating trope in which they're actually physically cheating on each other too. So, like,
and you would also go like, yeah, they should have. Like, that's a hard line for an author to ride.
Yeah, like, so no. But, like, yeah, this is also, there's going to be some emotional cheating in this as well. I also loved this. I thought it was done fantastically. Mm-hmm. So in this one, I think the way I look at it is like, Love, in other words, in the first chapter, she was engaged. So it took the authors a lot for me to get on board with her and Elliot. And I think that's where the dual timeline worked really well because I got to see where that foundation came from. Mm-hmm. In The Night We Met, page 1, she has been on one date with Mike, the other male character who ends up becoming the boyfriend who they end up breaking up and whatever. So it's a much shorter timeline, and you get to see the rocky foundation that her and Mike are already built on. And you get to see that in comparison with how her and Chris's friendship comes from a solid place of being friends first. And I will say, I do think I liked this more because I know she has already come out and said that Mike gets his own book next.
Oh, interesting.
So I know Mike is going to get his happy ending, and therefore knowing and seeing how him and Larissa were not a good match ever makes me a lot more okay with her being with Chris that was the better match.
So you mentioned, before the podcast, you mentioned that the Abby Jimenez one has dipped under 4 stars, and it's at 3.9 stars. Seems pretty clearly people not liking that one.
But loving this.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know. So I recently put out on my socials, go check out Lauren's Lifestyle and let me know your thoughts on this, because there's already been a discussion. And the one person made a really wonderful comment and said that she felt like Love in Other Words was more okay because just like when you lead up to graduation in college and you're like right at that point of graduation, you start to kind of question and you can like look back on everything that's happened with a little bit more quizzical. And that's kind of the moment where a lot of people are like, I'm going to go take a gap year before I go to school, or that it's one of those pivotal moments in life. Being a fiance, being engaged is that same kind of heightened level of reflection on your life that it makes sense for Macy to be questioning things in this scenario, where the night we met, she met Chris and Mike at the same time and still chose Mike, which does make it a little bit rockier from the beginning.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
And I think that was the first response that I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I still almost prefer this level of relationship. I mean, they were together for years. And then she was like, cool, whatever. Where this takes place over the course of about a year from the time that she picks Mike over Chris for a car ride home until everything blows up. And we get, even though it's only the two, Larissa and Chris's point of view, we see the downfall of Mike. We see Mike get to a place where he is not in a place to be in a relationship. He should not be in a relationship with Larissa in any way, shape, or form. And so we get to see those kinds of pivotal moments that, to me, make this way more digestible than a fiance that just because your childhood crush shows up.
Right.
And I love these both. These are both 4.5 stars. I genuinely loved both of these. Way more than I anticipated. But, I do think that, the night we met, the cheating trope wise was way more easy for me to digest, which is why I think it's interesting that so many people, the discourse around it is like, no, I like the other one better.
Yeah.
Because I know, one of my favorite book talkers, Love in Other Words is one of her god tier romances, and she DNF'd The Night We Met.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
And because she just couldn't handle the characters together and the dynamics.
Huh. Makes me want to read them to figure out where I stand on this, because
I know.
It's dicey.
It is. And I think the other thing is it's almost one of those things where I commend Abby Jimenez as a writer, because it almost makes me think that the reason people don't like it is because it's too real. We kind of approached that. Yeah, where they became friends. Mike became a person that is not dateable anymore, where he was in the beginning. And you become friends with your friends' friend group, with your significant other's friend group. They adopt a dog together. And yeah, some of it's still cheesy and kitschy because that's how Abby Jimenez writes things. Right. But for it to be kind of realistic a lot more than the big, grandiose version of the childhood lover swooping in when you're already engaged. And, like, that's a wonderful love story,
Sure.
but it's not quite as real. That doesn't happen in every life.
Yeah.
Falling for your fiance's friend? Could.
A little more real. Yeah. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting reads. Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. I have finished. I finished Murder Takes a Vacation,
Okay.
uh, and I gave it 3.5 stars because it was fine. The main character is a bit annoying because
Mm.
everything is about how she's fat, and I'm
Mm.
like, that's a weird. This is a mystery. This is a weird thing to keep bringing up. Um,
Yeah.
so just it was fine. Then I finished two books that made me sob, and I'm going to do my best to articulate that here without also breaking into tears. Because at one point, I was trying to tell my wife about it, and I started to cry in the car telling her about it. So the first one is Cat's People. This is the
Yep.
book that Liz read and just sobbed at the end, and all that. I didn't cry at the end, but there's a character in it. His name is Bong. He is the sad bodega owner, and he lost his wife like a couple months ago. And I think I may have said this last time, but
With the,
because
when
I
he brings the snacks and stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, tears,
Mm-hmm.
sobs, just like, oh my gosh, thinking about like if Liz were to pass away, what would
Mm-hmm.
I, how would I honor her in death and all that sort of stuff. And so just absolutely devastating. The book finishes really nicely. It has a nice end where everyone comes together and we all feel warm and fuzzy about everything that's going on. It's a cozy book. I gave it 4 stars, just because like the last fourth kind of drags a little bit, and it's kind of like we know where this is going. Let's get there, kind of thing. But really fun, really good read. If you want a cozy read, Cat's People is definitely up your alley.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna need to pick that up. Like, that just sounds so sweet and wonderful.
yeah. The Correspondent is the other one.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Sobs. Sobs.
Beautifully written. Absolutely
Amazing.
incredible. Like
Did you do
I
the audiobook?
I did the audiobook.
Yeah.
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 So good. And like and you mentioned this when you talked about it, you cared about every single storyline fully.
Yeah.
You wanted to see these people succeed and to grow and all that. Oh my gosh, just wonderful. But
Yep.
the part that has broken me is so uh we're gonna spoil some things, but it goes into
Yeah.
it's a major part of the book, so you figure it out pretty quickly. But her talking about her son Gilbert's death, who died when he was 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
even before the big twist at the end, the big major reveal about it, just her talking about it, and like her ex husband writing her to apologize for how he was during that
Mm-hmm.
time. I When I was 5, my mom's youngest brother Alex died in a grain bin accident, and I, in reading this book, I just had, number one, I have kids of my own, and so thinking about a world where I have to go on after Henry or Archie passes away, and the idea of like I can't have my own time to grieve because I have to help my other child grieve. I have to help my
Yep.
wife grieve. Just like and then to think, "Oh, my grandparents had to do this." And like
Yeah.
I had to really sit with that of like the responsibility put on a parent who loses a child to not get their own time. and have to be okay for all of the other siblings. Boy, just it hit me, and to have that real life to pull from. Like, I was driving in the car sobbing. I telling my wife about these moments in the book that just hit me, and I could not keep it together because it was like, wow, I hurt for people in that situation. I hurt for the people that I love that went through that situation. And the Virginia Evans is her name,
Yeah.
I believe. But yeah, holy cow, she just did such a good job of speaking to the truth of what that experience is like. That for some, I hope that many people who read this never have to experience that, whether it's you or adjacent.
Yeah.
But this book allows you into that mindset to feel, and I think there's something really powerful about going into those places of hurt and to kind of play around is a weird way of putting it, but
Explore
like,
it.
yeah.
It's one of
This is
those books too where it has so like, you know, when you read like a romance or a fantasy, a lot of times a critique, at least for me, is that it gets too in the weeds with like side quests, for lack of a better word, for too many plot lines that get too tangled and don't get the time they deserve. This book is the opposite of that. Every single timeline, or not timeline, every single plot line, every single deep thing that is mentioned is fully explored and thought through and so wonderful. I mean, when we got Bassam back, Bassam?
Bassam.
Yeah, when we got him back after he found the personal email, like
Uh-huh.
I was giddy because I was so
Yeah.
invested on how even his story came through. And like, and you're right with like all the stuff with Gil. I was walking Morgan and just sobbing by myself. And like the one that really got me was Rosalie and the daughter.
Oh. Oh my.
That whole thing just had me wrecked, man. And but every single little plot had its own, so even like I would argue that the professor that she wants to go out at the courses for and
Uh-huh.
meets the new dean, that is arguably one of the smallest plot lines in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And yet even that, her showing up and like trying to be a woman and thinking she needed to be a badass and all this stuff, just was so, every single plot was so well thought out and well rounded and finished to completion and just explored and really wandered around in it. Didn't just like straight through it, let's get it done, let's tick the boxes, let's move on.
Yep.
Was so just explored and wandered through in this really gloriously, beautifully heartbreaking way.
And I love that the message every step of the way was communicate clearly and you can figure out anything.
Yep.
Like, I love that. It just it hurt. It made my heart happy. It did everything. If you want a book to feel,
Yep.
The Correspondent is that book.
And just slow down. Just slow down with time. Time moves really fast, but you don't have to. The Correspondent in general, just to be these letters and things that come whenever they come type situation instead of this instant gratification. I think listening to the audiobook like this, that was one that I listened to, I think like 1.2. Like I listened to it intentionally, very slowly, and just really took my time, and like it really helped also just kind of romanticize life a little bit more in a world that gets so busy and so fast.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. 5-star read. So good.
Glorious. Glorious.
So good. All right. What are you reading now? What are you
Currently.
reading?
Okay. I am still audio booking book 1 for DCC,
Yep.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm still a little iffy on it, kind of. There's just something about it that I can't really get super hooked on. So,
I think this might be an instance where a lot of people hyped up the audiobook, and I think it's a better physical read.
I could
think
see that.
that
His voice is kind of hard to really like.
it is. It's I've listened to a little bit of it, and it's pretty jarring.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
compared to how the voice doesn't necessarily match the person on the page.
No. And like Princess Donut's voice really throws me off also.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm not super like hooked into. Now
Yeah.
granted, Ben and I have another road trip this weekend, and I've been listening to that while I drive because he's been sleeping. And so like I'm going to finish it obviously and then kind of go from there. I have a
Yeah.
feeling it might be a good like passive time kind of book that like I
Sure.
don't just rush through, but while we have long road trips and stuff, because I think that's the other thing. I am enjoying it more when I can like listen to a good chunk of it at a time,
Yeah.
as opposed to like Walking Morgan where I get like 30 minutes. I want like hours at a time kind of thing.
There's a lot of stuff in it that's connected. That
Yeah.
interconnectedness means that something that happens over here is going to pay off here,
Yeah.
and to get that full circle helps, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. I did start Akatar.
Hey!
So we are rereading that. I'm already like halfway done through the first book. So I do
Yeah.
think this will go faster than I anticipated. Simply because like, and I have noticed I'm already like, I think, so I guess partly I have to amend my whole like rereading a book doesn't like you lose some credit for it. I read these books long enough ago that I think I'm still getting so many new little bits and things out that like we had said that like if you reread a book every year, you know, then you're kind of
Yeah.
like losing credit for it a little bit. I
Yeah.
think there is like a statute of limitations there that if it's like been long enough and you come back to it, it should count as like a nice new fresh read compared to
Sure.
a reread, because I am genuinely like there was so much from Akhtar that I completely forgot. I forgot Lucian had a robot eye. He only has one eye.
Oh, yeah?
And I forgot about that. You know, just these little things that, like, I completely forgot. Then, like, she meets the Suriel really early compared to what I
Yeah.
remember. And she meets Reese at the Fire Night Festival, like, halfway through the book. I thought that was way closer to the end. And just things like that, like,
Really?
I'm really, like, I remember these little points, and I remember the, like, overarching thing of it. But I'm a different reader than I was even 3 years ago. So to read it now, I'm getting such a different experience that it's been really fun.
Yeah, very nice. Very, very cool. I
And
still
last but
probably
not
won't
least,
reread 'em.
I did finally what?
I still probably won't reread them.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair and valid, because that way then we can be both sides of the coin of the arbiter
Yes.
of does she do a good enough job recapping. So that's totally fair.
Perfect.
And then last but not least, I did finally pick up In Her Own League. This is the spin-off book of my Windy City series.
Yeah.
This follows in book 3 the female main character's dad.
Gotcha.
And so it's the field manager and the owner of the baseball team.
Nice.
And it's like, it's such a fun summer read because it's baseball. And I love Liz Tom Ford's writing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was really like, obviously the Windy City is like top tier for me. It's fantastic in every way, shape, and form. And like reading this where they're all kind of a generation older, she writes it in a much slower, more intentional, more mature way
Oh,
that
interesting.
is really fun. Like she's
That's
able to
awesome.
do that. Yeah. So, flying through this one already too, and this will be done, and then I'll be crushed that I have to completely leave this world. But
Nice. Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
where are you at? What are you reading?
So I went and listened to a couple podcasts because I needed a break from
How is the
audiobook.
reading slump going?
I'm coming out of it. The correspondent has kicked me back into gear. The next audiobook that I am reading is Harlan Coben's Deal Breaker, which is the first of a series. Myron Bolatar is the main character's name. Basically, he's he's a sports agent, and he has to deal with his clients, and it's supposed to be kind of mystery, kind of sports, yeah. So I'm excited.
Sounds
for that
up your
one.
alley.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, moment we've all been waiting for. I started the titty book. Started it. And I'm so annoyed because the prologue is terrible.
Oh
It,
no.
it's awful. It is truly the like it is the most tell don't show I've ever read. There's a like it straight up says things like this guy is top of his class. He also gets all the ladies and he bangs so many women. And then also he's the best pilot and he's top of the class. And also like and it just goes and this and this and this and this.
Oh
And it's
no.
like this sucks. And that's our main character. Oh my gosh, he has no flaws. The prologue tells me that he is a flawless human who can fight, is so muscular that he he got punched in the abs, but his abs were too strong, so he didn't even feel it. He's also really intelligent and knows not to bother a book girl mid-chapter. Um, and then also he also has a heart of gold and will help people home from the bar for non-sexual reasons because he's such a good human. And I just wanted to be
Austin.
like, I don't care about this guy at all. He
Austin.
sucks. And then chapter 1 started, and it's really good.
What?
Chapter 1 and chapter 2 are if I hadn't gotten the prologue, I'd be having a great time. I'm 2.5 chapters in, and I'm gonna be
What?
honest. Yeah, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Chapters 1 and 2, really solid. Really enjoyed like the setup of what he's doing. There's a weird thing with like his sidekick has an accent, but they haven't really described what the accent is and haven't spelled any words weird to make me know what it is. It just
That's
says,
helpful.
yeah, but just says he said in his heavily accented voice. And I'm like, I don't know what this
I
is.
don't know what that's
But
supposed
like,
to mean.
but it's so weird because like genuinely, if I hadn't had the prologue, I'd be having a great time and I'd be like, yeah, there's some quirks, but it's not that bad. Like I'm really enjoying it. The
And now you're all
prologue,
skeptical.
I'm so skeptical because the prologue was so terrible.
Weird.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm kind of hoping that this continues to go well, and I well, of course I hope it continues. I don't want to read a bad book,
Oh yeah.
but I hope it goes well because again, one of the reasons why I got this book is because clearly we could get Edie Sky on the podcast. Like she's
Yeah.
promoting on social media, it would be very easy. I want this to go well so I can ask her what the fuck's going on with this.
What was this?
What was this? Did this not get to the editor? What happened?
Yeah.
Was this an
What got missed?
afterthought? Like,
That's hilarious.
so,
Interesting.
yeah. So it's going fine. Right now, it's going fine.
Yeah. Wild. That's so weird.
Liz was so annoyed with me because I was reading it and I would do this big eye roll and then I'd go, listen to this, and I'd read. Let me. Just because I've got it here.
Just listen to this.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Oh goodness. Ryan wasn't vain about his appearance, but puberty had knocked him from fat kid to a dark slab of a man. That bulk added the illusion of years to his age and made it impossible to hide in a crowd, so women noticed him whether he wanted it or not, and often licked their lips when they did it. Not that he minded. Let me grab
Nope.
the. I know exactly where the punch. Yep, here it is. Okay. Okay. Ferric threw another punch for Ryan's head, but when Ryan raised his arms to block, he feinted and hooked another blow underneath, straight into the meat of Ryan's gut. A startled gasp escaped Sonya's lips before she heard the blow stop with a solid thud. A recurrent powerlifting elective lent a certain huskiness to his muscle, and his flexed abs had absorbed the punch like it was little more than a surprise Dodger bee ball.
What?
So that sucks.
I'm picturing like cartoon where they like wiggle because they like absorb the punch and then like the ball goes in them and then back out and it like creates the little morph on the side of their body.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not good.
No. But then it gets good. Then it gets
That's wild.
Then it gets fine. It's not good yet, but it's
But
it's
has
it's at
potential.
least a book. Like it's the prologue feels like an 8th grader wrote it, and
Yeah.
chapters 1 and 2 feels like an adult wrote it.
That's weird. That's so. Oh man, that's wild. I just. You got a ride ahead of you, man.
I sure do. I'm gonna finish this book before the next time we record because
Yeah.
I just simply have to.
Yeah, no, you do. 100%.
All right, with that, we've got a couple segments coming up. We're going to have to burn through them because we took a long time on that. But
We did.
we got a quick segment coming up. It's a favorite of ours. Cover Judges, coming up next on Chit Chat and Chapters. Welcome back. It's Chit Chat and Chapters. Austin, Lauren here with you. Cover Judges. Don the robe and the white hats. We're wig. We're judging things right now.
Yeah, we are.
These are the most popular books published in August of 2026 via Goodreads. So all of these coming out in the very near future. I will get us started with number 14 on the list, A Trade of Blood by Robert Jackson Bennett. It is the 3rd book in the Shadow of the Leviathan series. Has 4.63 stars with over 650 ratings and 35,000 shelvings.
Ooh.
Yeah, I knew you would like this one. Tell me what you think about it.
Ooh, I have many thoughts. Are these mushrooms growing out the side?
Yeah, they sure are.
That's interesting. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
An Anna and Din mystery. Because initially my first thought is like it's giving a little bit of fantasy vibes. But like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to. Okay, so we have 4 characters on each corner that are different. We have
Yep.
some DNA of mushroom type thing going on with the skull. I'm picking that up. That's approved.
And so this is a fantasy mystery.
That makes
series.
sense.
And it honestly, like I don't know anything about the first couple of books. I wonder. I'm gonna quickly open this up and see what the other first 2 are rated, because
This one has a pre-shelving of 4.6. That's wild.
huge, right?
Now, granted, that's probably
book
ARC readers
1?
that tend to.
Yeah. Book 1, The Tainted Cup, has 4.29 stars, and book 2, A Drop of Corruption, has 4.47 stars. So this is a rock solid series, and
Oh,
all of the covers are good.
yeah. Can you imagine those sitting on a shelf? God, those would be gorgeous.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
I would need them foiled. I need the silver to be foiled silver. I don't need it just gray.
Well, yeah.
But
Come
like,
on now. What do you think I am, poor?
right? Obviously.
I love that
Yeah.
each one has on the side a plant life. So like first book is vines, second book is flowers, third book is mushrooms. Like
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's
fan.
approved. That's approved.
Big fan, absolutely. Good stuff.
Yep.
Good one to start.
Oh, that's
on.
fun. Okay. I'm going to start with number 11. How to find love in the cereal aisle. How fun is this?
That is fun. So, by Alyssa Rogatis. Sorry
I
for
was going to let you
butchering.
butcher that name, not me.
Just shy of 4 stars with 347 ratings, almost 38,000 shelvings. Yeah, I mean, this looks just kind of quirky and fun.
I love the guy in the tote bag. It
That is
just
the
that
best part.
it tickles me so bad.
Oh, I'm picking up my wine. I've got my baguette. Oh, let me just pick up a man.
Let me just pick up a man. It's so cute. And especially for August, like a summer read, it just this was a fun
You
one. I
know,
also loved.
something that I've noticed when we started this podcast, we were very big on we don't like people on our covers. And I feel like authors have found a way to make it good recently.
Yes.
Because, like, this is good.
But
But,
it's also
like,
barely a person. It's
that's
like
fair. The
it's the
less like a person
cartoon
it is, the
caricature.
better.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
No, this is great. I approve of this cover.
Yeah. And I love the color contrast. The orange and the pink is
Very nice.
really, really catching my eye nicely.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like it. Very good. Okay. Number 3, Adversary to the Villain.
I
It's
love
got,
this cover, man.
dog, it's so good!
It's so good.
I'm so mad that the last book just couldn't do it for me. So this is Adversary to the Villain. It's Assistant to the Villain number 4 by Hannah Nicole Marr. It's got 4.47 stars with 145 ratings, 88,000 shelvings. People are excited about it. And
This is okay. I'm like really paying. I've like zoomed in on this, right?
yeah.
Anything you can do, I can do evil is fantastic. The inbox says good inbox, evil outbox. So she's taking good things and making them evil.
Uh-huh.
We have 96. Oh, no, the big book of evil speeches.
Yeah.
Got my cauldron brew. Might plot a coup.
But so this
Writing
is
your
the-
villain backstory. This
I
is
wanted-
fantastic.
No,
The
I wanted
frog
to talk
says
about this.
slay.
It does, and I wanted to talk about this because my major problem that I ended up having with the third book, which is Accomplice to the Villain, is that the language was too cutesy to carry weight for the story, and so like the vibes of the book, like book 1 vibes were great. Book 2 vibes got a little not as great. Book 3 couldn't finish because the vibes weren't right. Okay, like. This cover looks fun,
The cover.
but I know the words inside match that cover of all the like extra stuff. All the extra stuff in that cover the words are going to match with. But the story doesn't have weight because there's too much cutesy in it. That is that's what I believe. And I ran into one of the reasons why I brought it up is because in this book, there's a part where they describe their big mech as Stompy.
As wait, Stompy?
Stompy. It is able to stomp well. Is like it's a big stompy robot. That kind of language is the language that Adversary to the Villain is going to have because that's what it's had for the other 3 books.
The problem is, okay, so I'm looking back at the other covers now, right? Accomplice has insert witty villain evil catchphrase here. But other than that, it does not have the little like I would argue that Adversary to the Villain is the best cover out of all of these covers.
I would agree with you on that. I think it does a really good job of like taking the parts of the first covers that were really good and just adding
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. But yeah, if the
So
language is in that, I mean, I don't want to read about stompy robots.
no, no, I don't. Now, obviously, that's not what was said in Accomplice to the Villain, but like
But if it's the same type of
it's the same vibe.
bad villains, no shit, they're bad. Like stompy
Yeah.
robot. Yeah. It just
So
and then it just feels it doesn't even feel cozy. It feels childish.
that's the problem. That
That's
is the
that's the
problem.
problem. Is it's
Yes,
not cozy, it's childish.
you've yes, that is the words that I should have been saying this whole time was that it feels childish and like it just isn't it's not the vibe. It's not the
Yeah.
vibe. So I really wanted to talk about this series a little bit more, but also that's a cool ass cover.
It's a fun cover. Darn it.
What you got for
Okay.
me?
Number 19, Immortal
19.
Rose. This is by Alexandra Bracken. It's a 4.3 with 415 ratings and 30.9K shelvings.
Ooh, it's pretty. Every bargain has its thorns. Ooh. Oh, I like this a lot. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it absolutely just kind of like the tagline is what gets me. Every bargain has its thorns. The moment I see that tagline, I'm picking up and saying, "What bargain?
Oh, yeah.
What
And
bargain are we talking about?"
the way the green vines wrap around the gold vines of the bottle and almost mimicking, but not quite. They distort it a little, and the thorns are prominent to be like, oh,
It's another cover approved. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
yeah.
good. We got some good covers this time around. August is
Yeah.
a strong showing.
I will say this every single possible way that I can. 2026 has been such a phenomenal year for books and releases and things. It's been a great year for covers. It's been a great year for like reading, even like backlog books that I have picked up. 2026 has been a killer reading year.
Yeah,
It's been great.
absolutely. Fantastic. All right,
Okay, last
last
but not
one for me.
least.
Last one for me, number 10. It is Pink Ink by Avina St. Graves. 4.42 stars with 250 ratings, over 39,000 shelvings. A dark romance. Pink Ink.
It's giving 90s zine vibes.
Yeah.
And it's like the film strip in there too, but it's got like some real gothic elements with like the cathedral-esque photos behind it.
Yeah. It's good. I like
It's
it.
good.
It's
I would give it like a 3 or a 4 on the rates. Like I'm gonna have to read the back before I'm not. This is not just
so,
automatically going into the cart.
so let me bring you into the back of the book then, because so Gothicana meets Dexter in this sinfully delicious dark romance about a horror-obsessed film student who's secretly tracking the murders of a serial killer, unaware he's also her brooding professor. That's a good premise.
Yeah, I'm
That's a
probably in.
good premise. Yeah, I think the cover does enough for me to go. As a guy, I probably wouldn't pick it up and read the back.
Yeah.
I think it does enough that enough people would go, ah, that's dynamic. Let me look. Let me pick it up.
Yep. That's fair.
So, yeah, it's a pretty good, but it's an interesting premise. That's for sure.
Yeah. Very. Okay.
Unfortunately, hold on. Does she fall in love with the professor? I don't know if I'm into that.
I mean, probably.
I don't know if I'm into that. I don't like age gap romances.
I don't.
They're not
Yeah.
they're not for me.
Anything
Huh.
more than like 10 years. 10 years, I feel like you're still like kind of within the same decade When you get to like that like
Yeah.
student teacher where it's like you have at least 2 decades between you, I can't.
Yeah.
It also kind of depends on how much. Like how much it's like brought up. I've read age gap romances where like that's all they freaking talk about is the power imbalance of the age gap. Where
Yeah.
like in Her Own League is technically I think like an 8 year gap, but the only thing that she ever mentions about it is like he's so much more mature or like experienced. Like there's not like there's like weird like he's older so we can't be together. Like it's just they don't make it
Right.
weird.
Well, it's also like and I've thought about this with like real life romances. Like it's the difference in like a senior dating a freshman in high school is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But someone who's 28 dating someone who's 24 is not weird.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
older you get, the wider the gap can go.
that's exactly it. That's
Yep,
exactly it. So,
totally.
yeah. Alrighty,
Okay,
last one for you.
last one. I was gonna pick one, and then honestly, I'm pivoting. Let's go number 12, Fruit Fly by Josh Silver. It's a
Ooh,
4.3 with 4,147 ratings and
wow.
37.5K shelvings.
Interesting. It's fine. It's fine. It's dynamic, but there's a lot of nothing going on in the middle of that. Like, there's so much nothing happening right there.
I love it. I think that's what draws my attention to the fly because I don't know that I want the fly any bigger.
Sure, I get that. But like, you couldn't fill that space with the words? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of empty space that's just puke green. Like,
That's fair.
I don't like it. I don't. I was like, oh, it's dynamic. It's not. It's not. I don't like it. I don't like this book cover. I think it's ugly.
That's fair. That's fair. I like it. I think it's like it to me. It's like a that's gonna pop on a shelf so well.
Sure, it will, because it's all green. That's
That's fair.
it's. I mean, might as well
I don't
have a
know.
green sign that
There's
says
something
"Look
about it that I can't.
here."
I mean, fair. There's something about it that I can't stop looking at.
All right, fair enough. I I'm the opposite. I'm keeping on looking trying to find something to draw my attention and I got nothing.
Oh, I just like yeah. So the premise is just it says go gay, go sad, go dark. A washed up author will stop at nothing to claw her way back to relevancy, even if it means appropriating a young gay man's tragic story.
Oh. Well, that's very interesting.
And now I need to know how they connect.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a really interesting story. I'm sorry the cover didn't grab me to make me want to read it.
Right? They like don't connect at all, and I need to know because
No.
it says a razor sharp satirical thriller, which a satirical thriller already sounds intriguing. Fruit
Yeah.
Fly will appeal to fans of R.F. Kuang's Yellowface and Yomi Ajoki's The List.
I've heard good things about both those books.
I have two.
I've heard really good things about both those books. Ooh. You're selling me on reading this book.
Isn't it intriguing?
It is very intriguing. It's very intriguing. I'm judging the cover, and it's a no-go for me.
That's
Cover
fair.
judged, cover denied. But I'm in on the book.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, that's for sure. Alrighty. Covers have been judged. Bang, bang, gong, gong. What? Words? Huh? The gavel. Bang the gavel. I was right the first
You
time.
bang a gavel. Yeah.
Do you gong a gavel? No.
You
Get
don't.
with the program, Austin.
Yeah.
Goodness.
We're not rookies at this, man.
I know. Oh gosh. Listen, we've got a segment that we haven't had for a long time, and I'm very excited for it. Coming up next, it's Horny Court on Chit Chat and Chapters.
Welcome back to Chit Chat and Chapters. We're bringing back an oldie but a goodie. It is Horny Court. We're
Good thing
we're
I got
staying
a
in
robe
court
to
today,
live on
man.
already.
Yeah. we're staying in court. The legal system is our world today.
That's right.
And
Lawyer
we
up.
Yup. Here we go. Today
plead
we are
the
going to be
fifth.
discussing. What?
I plead the fifth.
No,
That's
you
it.
don't, because we have to talk about these books. These are important
that's-
things.
That does make a podcast tough if you plead the fifth for the whole podcast.
Yeah. So I am going to force you to discuss this.
I revoke my pleading the fifth.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
No one's read me my Miranda rights yet. This is garbage. Come on now.
You have the is it what's the 21 Jump Street? You have isn't it the you have the right to
Right.
to-
I don't even remember what it is, but you have the right to, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you have the
You have the right to suck my
fine.
dick.
Yeah. You have to know the Miranda right. I read him a version. God, that movie is a classic.
Man, what a great movie.
But
right.
that is not what we are talking about. So, as we all know, I have read, I've watched it too, but Austin has watched Off Campus. We're taking it to court. We are seeing, is it too horny? Is it horny enough? Is it appropriately horny? Does it get off scotch-free? Let's discuss. So,
Let's find out.
all 4 books, I'm gonna say, honestly, are really appropriately horny. Because these are high schoolers. They're high school athletes that, like, come on. Actually, honestly, I think saying that out loud, what's up? They're not high school, they're college.
I was going to say, that changes everything if they're high school
It totally does.
students.
No, oh my god, they're college. What am I saying, Austin? Okay, apparently I need to plead the fifth here. Because I don't, words just escaped my entire brain.
I would not be watching Off Campus if they were high schoolers. What's the Zendaya show where they're in high school? The
Euphoria? Yeah.
Euphoria. Not watching it. Never would. They're high schoolers. They're children. Forget that.
Yeah.
Off Campus,
They're
they're
college
adults.
kids.
They're
Yeah,
college
they're adults.
kids. College adults.
Yeah. With that being said,
Okay.
again, appropriately horny for college kids, for adults, for mature audiences. Goodness.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll nail this whole podcast thing, man. I swear.
Listen, I've
But-
listened to some podcasts and they never get it, so we're just fine.
Doing great. But all that to say, I mean, the first book, fake dating. Obviously, there's going to be some intimacy there. They got to, like, sell it for the crowd. Love it. The second book, I will say, is the only one that I think could be a little too horny, which you have not met Grace to know John Logan and Grace's dynamic. But she, when they first meet, is a freshman and then is a sophomore and senior in college type situation. Mm-hmm. And so there's a little bit of, like, I would argue is just slightly too horny there because it feels like their entire connection is founded on purely a one-time physical hookup type thing.
So, real quick, what constitutes too horny for you? What would these books need to have been to be too horny for you?
So I think for me, it would either need to be out of place. Mm-hmm. Like fake dating, it makes sense that there's quite a bit of physical intimacy. Where if it was like an enemies to lovers, but they're banging all the time, that's too much then. It doesn't flow well in the story. I will also say for like book 3, The Score, which is you have seen a lot of with Dean and Allie. To me, that's arguably too horny because yes, it's all like behind closed doors, secret hookup type stuff. But from a book perspective, they really lay into the fact that like it's only physical and we shouldn't be doing this again. And like we get 3/4 of the way through the book until there's ever any actual feelings mentioned.
Oh.
To me, you cannot build a relationship on intimacy alone.
On physical intimacy.
Physical intimacy. Yeah. And I
Okay.
think so that's kind of my boundary. Because I also have read books where like I can't stand when important discussions happen during sex.
Ah, interesting.
I want them to happen like they can still happen in the bedroom, but like let's make it pillow talk because emotions are already so high during sex that like I want to know that you mean it. You're not
Mm,
just saying it because clothes are off.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
what about
Interesting.
you? What are your thoughts?
I think that the off-campus series is not horny enough.
I'll take
Here's
that.
why. Here's why. Episode 1 is super horny. There are
Yeah.
tits everywhere. There's banging, like they set the tone of like this is what this show is going to be about. And then they say not really. Psych, you wanted titties, there aren't titties. Like the legitimately there are references and listen, I'm not looking for softcore porn. That's not what I'm not. I don't need more titties. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the expectation that is set in episode 1 is not correlated the rest of the season.
I totally actually agree with that as far as the because like obviously the TV show they're gonna have to tame things down. It's a TV show to a
Absolutely.
certain level. I will argue though that's the same point in the books too because the one problem that like I love these men we know that, but
Yes.
my one qualm with them is there is a lot of um dual kind of characteristic there where
Mm,
they talk the biggest game of all the game and these are the guys that get all the freaking girls they
yeah.
want. And
They
aside
bang.
from Dean, we never see that.
Oh, interesting. It's
I
just
mean,
kind of
it's implied,
referenced. It's
it's
implied.
referenced, but then there's never, I mean, like, yeah, with Garrett, we see him with the cherry pie girl, I mean, like, you get that one scene. But
Yeah.
the rest of even throughout the rest of the books, besides Dean, and even Dean, once he's with Allie, doesn't
Uh-huh.
go mess around with anybody else. But,
Uh-huh.
like, he at least, you get the examples of it in the other books
Mm-hmm.
where you don't get any examples in the other book. I mean, like, we have a world that, like, a timeline really overlaps and is messy and is back and forth. And, like, you see Dean with other girls in books one and two. But
Mm-hmm.
John Tucker, who's the fourth book, you never see him with anybody else. And he's supposed to be just as big of a player as Dean and Garrett and Logan. Like, they're supposed to be this rule of the roost kind of guys that all of them get girls equally. And aside
Do
from
you
like
think?
Garrett, we never even get an ex girlfriend from, except for that
Yeah.
one chick.
Yeah. Do you think that that is an issue with the I think that's an issue with book boyfriend because you want your book boyfriend to be sexually competent, but you don't want to see it. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that's I agree that it doesn't show that way, and that is weird. Like, if we're but I think that it's trying to hide a blind spot in with a lot of readers because I bet if we had John Logan and or all these other characters always in a bedroom or walked in on them getting sucked off, like we wouldn't think very highly of them because do we think highly of Dean at all?
no, not in the beginning.
No, not
Yeah,
yeah. We just don't. And so if all of our other good little boys are rascals, rambunctious, going around, with multiple women, we're not gonna like them. And
yeah,
in terms of horniness and like, could they be hornier? Yes. I think specifically the move or the show could be hornier
yeah.
in terms of like showing like I think even Garrett and
Hannah.
in, thank you. Sorry, I'm horrible at this. Garrett and Hannah could be hornier meaning like just showing their love, their physical love for each other more.
There was a lot
The
of tension that didn't get fully explored.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. I think the same could be said for Dean and Allie. Yeah, there are montages of things happening, but it isn't a through line enough, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, which I know there's going to be another season, so
Well, and that's the
there's
thing is I'm
time.
gonna need if we're going Dean and Allie, I'm gonna need them to step it up because
Yeah.
to me that is the horniest of the books, and
Uh
so
huh.
far they're not giving me that level.
Yeah.
Montages
Right.
aren't gonna cut it for them.
I agree. I agree. And so I think we might be in agreement that are we about to say that they aren't that it's not horny enough?
I think you're more sound on that than I am, but I do
Okay.
agree.
Okay. Cuz I think I'm pretty strong on this. I don't think off campus is horny enough.
Yeah.
Ha! That's a real guy thing for me to say.
Well, and because that's the thing is because I immediately want to quantify it with like, but I think that's what makes it kind of the standard. Like, because I said that like off campus is basically the like prototype. That's what I want all of my hockey romances to be.
Yeah.
Therefore, while I think it could be hornier, I'm very much okay that it's not necessarily because
Sure.
then you read things like Windy City or the DC Stars by Chelsea Curto, and I know that those are some horny books, man. And so
Yeah.
it gives more wiggle room in the genre to be both ways.
Sure.
And so I'm okay with it,
Hmm.
but I also agree that it could be a little bit more.
I think I'm gonna definitively say if I have to write an opinion on it, I don't think off campus is horny enough. I don't think that it constitutes this is the right amount of horny. I think they could go harder in the paint in
Yeah.
almost every area and it would be
Yeah.
better for it.
Yeah.
That is
Especially
my
because they
official
all
statement.
yeah, you know what? I'll say yes, and especially I will say yes even more with the show than the books because obviously they do have to tamper down the show, but the show does such a phenomenal job of you and I talked like the camera angles with the like with the back and forth making it feel like that rom-com, making it like give us that like suspense and the pinkies touching and the things like that that there are
Yeah.
so many ways that the show could add just some add more add
Yeah.
make it that tension that is just freaking palatable the whole
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. And all that being said, these are not long episodes. They're an hour long. So
Yeah.
like it I get it. You got to make room somewhere. You can't make a meal out of every single sexual interaction.
Right.
But there's I think there's opportunity there that
I mean, think about the perfect to me the perfect example and the perfect level that I want throughout the whole thing is Hannah and Garrett and their first in his room where
uh
he's gonna like they're gonna try to have sex for the first time, like that
yep,
interaction is perfection.
absolutely.
That's the
Yep.
level that I think it needs throughout the entire thing.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, I think that and I think that even it could go further in places not intimately. Like I'm thinking about when Allie opens the door and her ex-boyfriend is there and he figures out, "Oh, she's been sleeping with someone."
Yep.
That is such a quick moment.
Yep.
We could have sat there for a while
Yeah.
and really felt the awkward of it and the panic of it, and it just kind of gets glossed over a
Yep.
little bit. Is that the read in the books? Is that it's all pretty fast, or do you think the books sit in all of those moments pretty well?
I think they do a better job, partly just because in the books, and I think this is one thing that TV shows just inherently have a hard time doing because, like, it's obviously not, you can't just do dual POV the same way.
Sure.
In the books, there's a lot more back and forth and give and take from all of these characters, where in that scene in the books, it's a lot more of a back and forth kind of like thing that happens, and that's why I wish we would have seen, like, I think his name's Sean, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
Sean.
ex. Like, why don't we see the text messages that he's sending her? He just kind of shows up, and like, we know for a fact we could add little text bubbles on screen. Like, why are we not seeing some of that? I would love to see Sean message her when she's with Dean. That would have been icing on the cake.
Yep.
And I know that it
Absolutely.
happens. So, like, why don't we get that one extra scene?
Yeah.
You know, and that's where, like, the book really does kind of flesh out a little bit more. And I keep saying it, but, like, that the meshed timelines of it all really helps with those little moments of tension, because once you get to their book, you remember seeing the other sides and the other perspectives of other characters. Where is Dean? Why isn't he down here helping us clean? Oh, because he's with Allie in her dorm. Like, those moments start to connect a lot better, that in a TV show, it's all happening at the same time, so you don't get everybody's perspective of it.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well, are we about to adjourn court with a decision?
I think so. I do think the jury has come to the conclusion that it is not horny enough.
Holy moly, look at us. Man, just
Do we have a problem? Because I think we said Akatar was arguably not horny enough too.
I think if I remember correctly, that Akatar was properly horny.
Yes. Okay. I agree. Yep. Okay. Good. Okay.
Especially because we did the last book of Akatar. We did so Court of Silver Flames. Court of Silver Flames perfectly
was
horny.
appropriately. Yes.
Shoot, we did say that the first 3 could have been hornier.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, that's some personal reflections that I need to do in my own spare time. With that.
So, yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening to our existential crisis. We appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, rate, and review all the stuff. Push all the buttons so that way we get out to more people. Share with your friends. Tell a friend that you listen to this podcast and these people are really oddly horny for books. It's
Or just, we have so much personality.
yeah.
Let them figure out the rest for themselves.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hey, sex sells. We got to lead with something. What an awful tagline. Chit Chat and Chapters. They're horny for books.
My goodness. You know what, Austin? You can find me at Lauren's Lifestyle. You're at Radio Guy Austin, that you may or may not use. And you know what? Thank you so much for listening to Chit Chat and Chapters. Keep on reading.